I got a like already. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Hope everyone's having a good evening today, or whatever time of the day it is for ye. Stay hydrated. Hydration's very important. Got my comfy sweater on. I'll rank some Metal Raiders cards. Look at all these. Can I get them all in one? Roughly. A lot of cards we're going to have to go through. And it may be a little more difficult than the LOB cards. Not as many vanillas. Well, in that regard, might make it easier though if they're all outright bad, right? I like to think so anyway. So we do got some alt art here with like Karibo. We got the censored Cybersaurus, alt art launcher spider. Where's Harpy Lady? It's probably no. I don't think Harpy Lady is the alt. Not alt. The the censored art. I think that might be it. I think this is the OCGR for Shield and Sword. I think. I believe this was also censored post-release. Share the Pain. Blast Juggler was also censored. This is the pre-censored version, I believe. Yeah, so basically, looking at a lot of these cards that I feel like should have alt art. Black Skull Dragon, Harpy Lady. I mean, kind of if you count all the other like Harpy Lady stuff, like Cyber and Cyber Slash. But Black Skull Dragon 100% needs an alt art. Like if I had to pick any card in the game to get an alt art, it would be this bloke right here. Yo, what's up? What's going on? I think that's it in terms of like things. I mean, there's a lot of things that I think 8 Guardian should get an alt art, but we did technically like its fusion. It's basically an alt art, more or less. We got some retrains of stuff. I have something more for like Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon or Dark Elf, or like a new Muka Muka card because we haven't got one since Enraged Muka Muka. I think that'd be a fun like archetype to build a deck around, like hand size stuff, like Slifer. You could probably do something with a Slifer deck. I think the original cards are so archaic it wouldn't really mesh too terribly well. Wait, is there a Black Skull Dragon retrain, or do you? Oh wait, do you mean Archfiend Black Skull? I mean that feels pretty different, if you ask me. Like, can I get the art pop up? This, yeah, it's so different. It's more in line with like an Archfiend than actually Black Skull Dragon. Like it looks more like Archfiend. Like I get where it's like red eyes and someone's skull. Like you definitely see that, but if I think because it has like the red like muscly bits and stuff, it feels more like Archfiend than Black Skull Dragon, which is more in line with just like it's literal Black Skull Dragon. I don't know how more specific than that I could be about it. Meteor Black's kind of cool, although I do think the Meteor Black Comet Dragon. My only gripe with this art is that it's really hard to see what's going on. Like it's really messy. Like especially on like a small card, you know? Like if you're playing. Like what the hell is this? It's just a big mess of red and black. Like you really have to stare at it for a while to see what's going on. I think that's the head. Wait, no, that's the head. I think I don't know. Like you see what I mean? It's a little tough to see what the hell's going on with it compared to like the original Meteor Black, where you can clearly see what the idea is. But it's a cool card, like otherwise. I think with like the effects and just red ice support. So I think the question is with the in terms of Metal Raiders tier list, what do you want to talk about? I suppose. Where do we start? Yo, Enderpin, what's up? Do you have a tier list in mind to follow already? I asked because my buddies and I are doing a prog right now, so I have about 9 lists to draw from. I mean, this is a tier list that we're going to be making on tiermaker.com. I mean, obviously, like we're gonna know what the good cards are, what the bad cards are. The hard part is, where exactly do they belong? What's the best of the best? What's the worst of the worst? What is just mediocre in the set? Because I can tell you, like, let's say Mirror Force and uh, where is I am so blind at these. What is the list? So this is gonna be where the hell is Heavy Storm? I have been eyeing for Heavy Storm. Second to last. Thank you. I was not finding that. So basically, I mean, like one, like we know these are S tier cards in the set. Um, it's gonna be like my LOB list where we're gonna look at. So we're just looking at TCG specifically, so not OCG, not speed duels. Um, Otherwise, we're looking at the card like all encompassing. So like if it was good early on, we have to factor that in. If it was good in more like modern stuff, we got to keep that factor in. Stuff like S tier, it's like a card that has been played for a very long time and has like remained like really good. Because like yeah, you probably won't see Mirror Force nowadays, but it was like such a big card for such a long time. I think it'd be disingenuous to like count that out. And I think Solemn Judgment would also be up here too. Now I know some people may complain on like how I make the tier lists kind of stuff, but it makes sense in my book, right? Like I think some people don't understand that it's supposed to be like all encompassing, but then we have to like keep it in like factor, like historical stuff too. Yeah, and it's my list. Like it's at the end of the day, none of this matters. Like it's the rules are made up and the points don't matter. But I try and be somewhat objective to my like take on things because I think you can have an argument for like any card, right? Like theoretically not being complete trash, but sometimes it's like you just got to go with you got to roll with the punches. Sangan, I think Sangan and Witch are S tier too. I think. Yo, Lee, what's up? Metal Raiders was the my Yu-Gi-Oh pack I got. Yeah, Metal Raiders is really good. So one of my first sets. It's probably my first set I recall opening. My first set might have been LOB. Like I played the game before MRD came out, but I definitely recall opening. I definitely recall opening a pack and getting Dark Elf, and like, I remember like I opened like many MRD packs like back then. I remember seeing like so many cards and just being like, "What the hell does this do?" Because the wordings on a lot of these cards are terrible, and a lot of them are really awful. So even little old Janjo could see through that. By the way, if anyone's enjoying the stream, feel free to give it a like or share it around. Any sort of engagement is YouTube enjoys that stuff. Water Harmonics and Hibikime were my first female monsters I obtained. Nice. Yeah, all the waifus. Like Skull Knight. It's definitely where my love for a lot of these fusions came from. From just pulling these fusions I couldn't use. So essentially I just had them for the art. I think Sangan and Witch are S tier. Because they basically had to like errata them, right? I feel like that's a sign of anything. Because otherwise, just like sending them from field to the grave is easy peasy. Like searching just about anything, it's really good. And I feel like there's going to be like a stark difference between S and A tier. Cyber Source was legendary. Yeah, Cyber Source was really cool. I mean, it's a pretty bad card, but he had its use. I feel like I had like the instant fusion stuff in C on the in the LOB video, like instant fusion or like meta targets and stuff. And I feel like they would probably have to go in here as well. I'll think about twin headed. Where is some of the other ones? Called call the boys who can get Jiraiya to B plus here. Possibly. I guess we'll have to find out as this night progresses. What is your thoughts on the new 2-player starter deck? Uh I'm kind of mixed about it. I think some people are blowing out proportion because it is meant for like new players and it's supposed to be like scripted duels. So it's not supposed to be, like other sets. But I do think them Konami showing off, uh, like them showing off Zeus like very early on was probably the bad call because people were looking at it and thinking, oh, this is going to be like a lot of nice reprints, needed stuff, and it was essentially just Zeus. So if people want to buy Zeus on a little more of a budget, they still have to spend like $20 on like at least one set. I do think they could have done a better job on reprinting certain cards that could have been needing reprinting, such as the Synchro deck, including something like Magical Android, you know, like something worth reprinting. As in terms of does it help people get into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? I do not know because I am not that like for that market. I think it could be an interesting product. I think it could be like a fun way to try out the game, but I think people's initial thoughts on it were kind of skewed, and that kind of made them a little more pissy about it. But I mean, I don't know, just don't buy it. Like people who are already claiming for Zeus can probably already spend the money on Zeus if they're worrying about like spending $20 on it anyway. I don't know. Like it's gonna get reprinted sooner or later anyway, I think. Like what we should have got, honestly, was Tupac, what's up? Mirror Force #1. Hell yeah. Well, what we should have got was those Asian English Blue Eyes and Dark Magician sets. Why didn't we get those? Those are awesome. They would have sold like gangbusters. Clay mirror. So that okay, I will specify. This is not in like specific order. This is just like bam, 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 bam. Yo, Serpent Deity, what's up? Saw you commented recently on my post back when Yugimon had an identity. Yeah, we got Solemn. I don't think I could put any other card on here on S that I can think of, unless I'm missing one, which I very much might. I think we'll put him there. Twin headed, I'll put here too. Like, it's good, but you're probably. I could be tempted for B tier, but I don't think you see it often enough for it to be like anywhere above that. I'm trying to think of other. So, what are some other like easy to get out fusions? Black Skulls. Black Skull, I'm almost tempted to put in D. Sadly enough, this guy I really want to put in D, but theoretically it could have a use. Heavy Storm really good. Elephantis is pretty good. Cannon Soldier. Cannon Soldier, I don't think he's S tier. I could definitely see him. I could A tier. I could definitely see. He was definitely like one of the defining cards of the format and caused for a lot of degenerate strategies. I don't want to put Black Skull in C. I'd feel dirty. I don't want to feel dirty. Not yet. Just maybe later. Skull Knight. Yeah, I feel like just every fusion is just gonna be in C tier. Just because of like basic fusions having support. Usually typically as extenders. Volume's a little low. Let's see. I've had some weird like mic issues. Okay. How does that sound any better? How about now? Okay, that should be a little bit better. So my mic has a really weird thing, or like my whole like mic setup thing, and I think so. That's why I didn't stream last week because I was like trying to figure it out because I couldn't get it to work at all. Um, because this mic is connected with a XLR cable to an audio interface on my computer, and this happened a couple months ago. I think back in November, and I couldn't figure out why. And I think I have diagnosed it down to I believe, and it's still not completely fixed. Like my gain is like jacked all the way up. I think it has an issue to do with the connector in my interface. Because once I like unplugged that specifically, like the USB, it's like USB A, I think, into that, replug back in, then it started working again. I mean, still with the audio, like the volume issues, but it at least works, and I'll take that. So it's been quite the journey. Trishula is really good. Musician King, yes, he'd be higher if this was the OCG. Which, by the way, definitely check out my OCG Fusion video. That was a pretty good one, I think. My, I think that's all the fusions. Oh, I know, Deep Sea Shark, haha. Hushin Engine. Guiltia. Guiltia does have. It's kind of hard like I see everything on my screen, but I know not everything's on here, so I'm trying my best. Guiltia does have some good new support. Released last year, I believe. Was it Guiltia Soul Spear, and was it like Red Eyes, like Guiltia or whatever it was. Like those are honestly decent cards. as far as just like cards go. Hey, Sir YJ, what's up? Hi, C. Yeah, like this isn't like organized. This is just dumping in tiers. Because like if we're talking that, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna organize all this or anything like that. But maybe something along the lines of like, honestly, he'd probably be the highest because he was the most meta relevant. He was kind of he was big in like Karakuri decks. You know, like maybe something along the lines of that, but that's still like what is the OCG video called? I think it's just fusions in the OCG. I have a OCG playlist. Should be on that. I don't think it's very cleverly titled or anything. Yeah, which is better? I mean, some of it depends on like the format, but generally, yeah, which. Though nowadays, I think people would say Sangan. Which, by the way, if y'all like the OCG, on my Patreon right now, there's only about one more day left to watch the next episode 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG early. For as little as $2 a month, you can check that out and all feature videos. It's a very fun video. Talk about the first tournament in the game and the first booster set. So, just saying. So let's see. Oh, did you link it? Awesome. I did share one of my OCG videos. Though uncovering the shocking origin. Sometimes I look at my old video names. I'm like, that was garbage. I keep trying to chase this like YouTube algorithm. Make it sound interesting. Sometimes they sound boring. Sometimes they sound lame. I don't know. Let's see here. Transit D. Top of the homepage. Well, it helps that I'm very specific and I'm very like niche down in my content. Does that figure out? Well, he definitely goes in the direct. Like I don't watch his. Like I've seen it. Like I've seen his stuff like before. Like it gets like recommended to me, and it's all like the most insane Metal Raiders tier list video. You wouldn't believe what the best cards in Metal Raiders was. You won't believe I can write on the ceiling with a space pen. It's incredible. Like every video is like, you wouldn't believe the most insane deck. But like, what are you gonna do, right? I mean, that's just you gotta play the game. Like I definitely have like some titles like that. Just my content kind of adheres to little different more historical educational content than just like I've like when I used to do more like news stuff like early on the channel, I think I did stuff like that. Gate Guardian. Oh, he's definitely D tier. I can't even pretend. He's really bad. Very high attack. Impossible to summon. Which is rather unfortunate. Larvae Moth, definitely down there. I did make a list on like the best Metal Raiders and worst Metal Raiders cards. So if you want more like specific breakdown of like what I think the worst cards are, definitely check that out. The worst of was only last month, so it's pretty recent. What were the others? Some of the other ones. Hushinjin was up there. Blast Juggler was up there. Yadokaru. Doesn't drag down his. Luckily, it doesn't drag down his pieces. Yeah, like I've on Yugioh from Zero, we did a Great Moth versus Gate Guardian match, and like I made the decks for that, and like the Gate Guardian's like fine if you just basically run the pieces. Like I managed able to at least summon two of the pieces throughout like the whole match, which is better than others. Beam, Steel Scorpion. Is there any other I included on there? I feel like I considered Launcher Spider, but didn't. I think I considered maybe Bistro Butcher. Nah. I think Battle Steer is like any like of like the really horrible level 5 like useless stuff. I remember when I got both of the battle guards like back then, like from playing them in packs. I was very excited. I'm like, I'm gonna pull this off, and I think I pulled off in one game. I unfortunately never had Gate Guardian, but I did have a Kazachin, which I don't think I think I rarely actually put that in my decks. Honestly, as like these cards go, I think they are like solid B tiers. Like as far as like tribute monsters go, like not terrible. I feel like Barrel Dragon would be in there too. Because like two tribute monsters, not bad. Thunder Dragon's A tier. I'm hoping to do this as weekly as I can too. Last week was just a technical issue. Um, but yeah, I like to do like through. I was thinking, I don't think I could go beyond the GX era because I really can't like these cards I can look at and basically know every card more or less, right? GX I'd definitely be way more foggy on, so even that's like kind of iffy. But I'm gonna at least try and go through DM era, and then we'll see from there. There's so much fusions in this set. Like these are all fusions. Isn't that kind of wild? I think that's pretty wild. Mushroom Man 2, since he was played competitively more recently, I'll put him in C tier. Which, by the way, anyone who's enjoying this video, feel free to drop a like. YouTube likes engagement. Let's see. I think Elegant Egotist is B tier. It's kind of it's kind of wild, just like a special summoning card with like no real cost. Like early in the game. I'd say these are also I think at least Mass Sorcerer is A tier. Yeah, you get to still sees play. That's true. Yeah, I could bump that up to A tier. It does still like it is kind of wild. Like they got it right, like right away. That card. Mask is probably B tier. Faith is definitely A tier. Where is that? Magician. There you are. Maybe S. I could see an argument for S, definitely. But it kind of like, I don't know. It's like the problem with like the flip monsters is like if they didn't errata like these cards, right? Um like they'd probably still see like some play. Mirror Force, like we still see like Mirror Force cards. So I think like the legacy of it is like still around. Faith, like it's kind of just for like flip monsters. I mean, yeah, it was like used for a while, but definitely did like drop off like in the 5Ds era, right? I think. But it is very powerful to bring back a spell card. But also wasn't playing like every format. Was Faith banned? It might have been banned for like I know it was like limited at times. All right, I'll put it on S. I think enough people are giving support for it. Years. Hey man, I can only remember so many things. I have the memory of a goldfish. Yo, Chips Donut, what's up? You're older. How old are you? Karibo to A? Uh that feels like a tall ask. Because I feel like Karibo is like a very solid B tier. I feel like the only times you really saw it was like side against like OTK decks, but even that's like how often would you see that? I do kind of wish people tried Karibo a little more in GOAT format though. You know, search it off a Sangan, discard it, into Dark and Grave. Oh, yeah, you are slightly older. I turned 30 this year though. LB list was over to watch. Thank you. Oh yeah. He probably enjoyed my European history video. That one took a while to research, tell you that. You Europeans. Hmm. Well, Soul Release everyone's using now. This freaking fire deck. Was there a reason to why the set was changed overseas? I don't know. I don't think they've ever said anything. It's like it could be just be like a printing thing. I think that was like my best guess on the matter. Maybe like a printing cost thing. The direct attackers. The direct attackers are really bad. Like Jinzo's the best one. And theoretically, you could do like gravity bind stuff with them. Does Jinzo 7 have support? I mean, if you kind of like the Jinzo stuff, no one plays Jinzo 7 whatsoever. Yeah, but like no, like I don't think anyone on the face of the earth has ever like used him in that kind of like facility. That's the thing though. Yeah, Jinzo number 7 before Jinzo. Android, the 7th Android. Like it almost feels like they should have gave like something a little extra to one of the direct attackers, but they just didn't. Turtle's a B tier OTKs, but it did get neutered, and it was only in like a couple formats. It was relevant in the TCG. Because I think that's saying like, oh, Gate Guardian is better because it can be summoned now, but it's goes with cannon. No, I think Can Soldier was just a bit more like relevant for longer, and like Turtle was never banned or like limited or hit like really, what right? Like Turtle, I think only had a showcase in like three formats. Right, there's like Scientist OTK for a little bit, and then there was something a little like later. Was it 2016 or something? Yo, YJ from Zero. It's time to raid some metal. Hell yeah. Oh, something popped. I have the body of an 80-year-old, even though I work out. What's going on? We have history from YGO and YGO from Zero in the same stream. What is going on here? I'm just like dumping all these. This was a direct attack. Yeah, this was a direct attacking one. Am I thinking of? I think of Princess of Sarugi, right? Was she in the? She was in the set. Yeah, she's over here. This is, yeah, this is like all things considered, in the TCG, so not OCG or Speed Duels related. We're just like keeping in mind the card like as a whole. So this is our current list right here. Oh yeah, yeah. Cancer is like really good. I've also prepared this time. Not only have a cup of water, I also have double loading, double fisting water. Yeah, I'm definitely like open to people's thoughts on like certain cards, being higher than others. I think it should be to the Doomed is B tier. Let's see. I can just drop some ones I know that are hot garbage. I know technically speaking, Great Moth is for the where does the Great Moth package go? It, yeah, well, like it has a lot of good utility in it. Just discard a card to pop one. Like you can do a lot with that, especially like in a period of time where it's like kind of the only selected removal. D. Because I feel like I would have to put all three of what the hell is great, like all three of them together because like it's a package deal. Yeah, you equip Cocoon with Petite, and then you wait like 1,000 turns and then do that. But there are methods. D tier. Yeah. Prevent rats better. Shout out to my community post yesterday of prevent rat. Prevent rat S tier? I don't know. S tier prevent rat. Like, we should get this to 5 likes. We're almost to 5 likes. Yeah, but it prevents rats? I can settle with C tier. 2K is nothing to be slept on, I suppose. Who am I kidding? Like by this point, you already have much better defenders. All right, S tier, but we all secretly know where Prevent Rat goes. Yeah, he's an S tier at heart. Gotta give love to Prevent Rat. Let's see. I would say seven colored fish. B tier. I think the question we should be asking ourselves is that is there anything else on this list that should go in A tier? How the rats have fallen. Rats! It reminds me of a joke I heard recently. Uh, Velcro. What a ripoff. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I could see an argument. I'll put B tier for him. Or the clowns. The clowns are finicky. Bistro Butcher is not seven colored fish. Oh, hey, I got 5 likes. Let's go. Yeah. And keep in mind this list is not ordered. C. Yeah, I'm thinking C for clowns. That'd be pretty funny. They're not bad. Like they're not bad, right? But they're not great either. Like they're hyper specific. Soggy the Dark Clown. Oh, I forgot the best clown of them all. Whoops! I accidentally dropped him in D tier. Oh, silly me. Whoops. Nothing I can do now. Sorry, guys. Dark Elf and Jirai, I'm gonna put in B. I could see an argument for Jirai in A tier, though. I could see an argument for Jirai. Even though I am a big Dark Elf stan. Bistro. D for Dark Clown. Beast. Yeah, Bistro fits in C. Like, he's technically. Like, he's definitely better than, like, these cards. Even though he has his own drawbacks. Yeah. Yo, I am just Alex. What is up? I saw you comment a little earlier. Yeah, like he technically has like Exodia mill stuff, and 1800 it's still nothing to scoff at. So I think that is at least fair. I think Fake Trap is C. Cheerful Coffin, I think is C. I know like you've seen play in like Dark Worlds with this, but I don't think it is really often enough to like push it to a B tier. Yo, okay, Jordan, what's up? This is the current list, what we're working with. Yo, Cheshire, what is up? Oh, Launcher Spider is great. Although they have the alt art down here for him. Came back from watching the OCG video. Good vid. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of work in those OCG videos, which History of YGO1, my OCG guru, is graciously helps me out with. So shout out to him. Launcher Spider is kind of weird because it's really weird, right? It's technically speaking not terrible. Yeah, you got shot out. Bang bang. Um but like Launcher Spider has like stats that aren't technically terrible. Egotist and A. Yeah, dude, Heartbeat deck still uses card. And even like back then, just having Harpy special summon another one is like wacky tobacky. I ran a Harpy deck in Critter format, and it is really wild that this card like existed then, and I think it showcases that the fact that the deck still runs it is pretty wild. Oh, the bonfire? Yeah, it's like $100. I think I checked earlier today. It's gone down like to like 90 something, but it's just a generic fire searcher. It's wild. Everyone's been like losing their mind over bonfire. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh stuff lately to like make like quick videos off of. But I'm trying really hard not to just dump videos out into the abyss. Yeah, Pyrota. Yeah, but like that's why it's really good, right? Rota's really good, and Fire is getting a ton of support, and that's like the big like generic searcher of like anything. It's wild. Like I have some of the Fire cards that I got like in some previous sets. I think I have like original Sinful Spoils and Infernal Flame Banshee, but it's not like I'm playing modern or anything like that. Like it is an absolutely wild card. Should it be $100? Hell no. But that's just like the state of the matter. So like it's an unfortunate situation Yu-Gi-Oh's like is currently in. And it's funny that it's fire of all decks, right? So the big stuff I think it was like Rescue Ace, um the like the Snake Eyes, like Sinful Spoil stuff. The Fire Kings just got their structure deck with a lot of like new support. And then you can look at the OCG and just see where like it's kind of directing. Yeah, yeah, Vegas is having like a triple threat thing. I think you need to have like teams of 3 for that. That's pretty wild, especially since just a couple weeks ago uploaded my Tengu plant history video. So like now I have videos on all that stuff that's out, right? I'm currently working. Actually, I just exported today a video discussing the GOAT format ban list, but that won't be up till like next month though. So the OCG rarity system is interesting. I was watching one guy's video talking about it, and he was giving all these like reasonings, and then like proving why like they don't make any sense in terms of fixing the game. And when he got to like the OCG like rarity stuff, he was like, "Well, I've been to Japan. It's a different culture over there. It just wouldn't work." And then he moved on. I'm like, dude, explain that more. Like you can't just pass by it. Because I kind of see where he's getting at, where in terms of like, there's a lot more of like collecting stuff over there for Yu-Gi-Oh compared to over here. It's a bit more of the like competitive nature. But yeah, you should probably have like it. I don't know. I think short printing is like a big problem that they should like just shouldn't do at all. Is short print cards. Eh, like it's a whole issue with just like economics of it all. Like you can't have cards just be like dirt cheap. But they really should also just have more sporadic sets and just have more power cards in said sets instead of just putting like one or two strong cards. But I do think that Flame Swordsman archetype looks pretty fun. I hope that like drops in price when it happens. It makes you think of like the last set was a Valiant Smashers with the Memento archetype, and it's like that's a good example of like a deck that's just it's casually good. Yeah, like these are just more popular in Japan. They have different like fan bases, so it's hard to say like where it would work in US, but I don't think they're gonna switch at any time. you know, Time Wizard. Yeah, I can see Time Wizard and C. It's random, but he has fringe uses. Just mass dumping a couple. Yeah, because like Cocoon would only move up because of like the package. Because otherwise, we have better defenders at this time. Like by this set, we already have Mystical Elf, Spirit of the Harp, Giant Soldier of Stone, Prevent Rat, who's clearly an S tier in our hearts. I think these two are B tier, just as like negation tools. I think Robin Goblin's probably B tier. Horn Heaven's really it's Horn Heaven only exists for Saint Ganon Witch. Do we drop Robin Goblin B tier or C tier? I see one B tier. Say B or C. I'll put in B tier. Horn of Heaven. What do you think about Horn of Heaven? I could see C. I could see D. That's fair. The Goblin Hat decks are kind of fun. I think it kind of probably goes with White Magical. Horn is B. B2. It does never see use. But theoretically, it does more than like other cards do, right? I think C is fair enough for it. I think that's perfectly fair. Though these though, at least I'm not including like Seal because like in Seal this is kind of like funny. Pendulum support. Para is C. Well, even at this time though, you have better cards just like already existing. Like if this was in like LOB, like you still have Fissure, Darkhold, and Raigeki. Right. Yeah, like even in LOB, like it wouldn't even be that good. It's definitely interesting. Like honestly, like there's a lot of these cards. Like we've seen, like Soul Release become more popular recently. Mushroom Man too. Even Dark Coffin has seen some like testing like once in a blue moon. So who's to say a card like Paralyzing Potion won't one day actually see play? Because these cards you could actually like theoretically like if you want to try them out, they they do very specific things, right? That this just there's no reason for this. Like Ekabio is a much better card. Like I like Ekabio. Saint the OCG dropping you down there. Dragon Piper. Oh yeah, that was another one that was like on my list too, I believe. Stim pack. Simback could possibly be a B tier. I think it's like pretty good in terms of like Metal Raiders. Like it is significantly higher buff. Like it is the best equip card in this set. Even though it gets outclassed like right away, like come Metal Raiders or Magic Ruler, excuse me. I think like on release, it is kind of like it's significantly better than like a lot of other cards that they came out. I think Share the Pain is C. I think this card is kind of like Cheerful Coffin, where it's like some people may like mess around with it, but it is very like very specific card. Yeah, but it like it sends to grave though. It's not a cost, right? So like you can like have scenarios where you can get like a weird targetless removal. It's also kind of is it does it's definitely interesting in this format when you have Witch and Sand Gang because you can trigger that too. And I think it wasn't that long ago when someone I think this card someone tried on some recent deck. I don't know if it was like Master Duel or what. Sarugi is interesting because yeah, it's seen more like inside decks than anything. I don't know if I'd say B tier though. Sarugi feels like it's another C tier card. But why did you go from zero like Sarugi and B? What are we all thinking of Princess? B B C C. Oh no, it's a tie. If we're in the OCG, but this ain't OCG. So it sounds like a C tier. Oh wait, no, there's another B tier. We got three Bs. Yeah, it's more of a side deck card. We got. All right, I'm seeing more B tiers. All right, the audience, the Janjo audience has spoken. By the way, we need one. Oh my fucking neck. We need one more like before we get to 10 likes. I believe we can get there. Another time for me to mention my Booster One video for Yugi OCG currently on my Patreon for as little as $2. See it before anyone else is very fascinating. I'm enjoying how the series is shaping up. Pumpkin. We want to do Pumpkin, the king of ghosts. Hell yeah, got 10 likes. Let's go. Pumpkin is really weird. Like I feel like decks that can use them are just better off running like Castle of Dark Illusions. 'Cause I feel like he's essentially just a worse Dark Castle, right? But we already have the meme card. Pumpkin S tier. I'm seeing a lot of S tiers for Pumpkin. He is the king of ghosts. Does that mean Castle of Dark Illusions follows though? We need like a meme category. Oh wait, no, delete this one. Yeah, what is this? Gods. Gods among men. Here we go. There we go. So no, so instead of no, this saves the sanctity of the list because now there's just like a completely different thing. We can, this is like whatever. Pumpkin Soul Control. Oh god. I've ma- I talked about the Pumpkin deck before. I think it was it my zombie history video I made? It's really bad. Castle of Dark Illusions was like that because it is like a reference, like Japanese like stuff. Unfortunately, I believe these cards are stuck here. Tremendous Fire, I think is B tier. Dies. Sometimes you gotta die to live. Mushroom Man number 2 was used a few years ago as like anti-Kashtira tech, so it has seen competitive play. Uh, Funnily enough, just within the last couple years, believe it or not. I know I'm just as surprised as you are. Yeah, if that didn't happen, it 100% be in B tier. It is just it was very specific as a card that you could summon it, give it to your opponent, and then they couldn't summon their Kashtira Fenrir because like they had a monster on the field. That's basically what it was for. Yeah, Blue Wing Crown, just poor, unfortunate monsters. Like I like Blue Wing Crown. It's, as far as cards go, it's theoretically not the worst. Battle Guards, sad to see. Yeah, unfortunately, Seven Color Fish exists, and even Bistro Butcher and hell, Dark Elf and Jirai Gumo. We're getting down to it though. Just an hour in. Electric Lizard goes hard. It kind of looks like a scary little Pokemon. Skull River power crept by 50. Oh yeah. I think a bird deck would be really fun, even though it'd be horrendous. Leo Gun. Insect Soldiers of the Sky, I think is pretty trash. It theoretically would be good, but I feel like it is another one of those like way too specific cards. Blackland is useful in dragons. Is it though? I mean, we already have Komori Dragon with Tomato. Yeah, but a lot of these cards can be summoned off Tomato. Summon Sagi off Tomato and use them for Crush Card Virus. Sagi OP. I mean, I could see an argument for Armored Zombie because it is the only in a Metal Raiders critter format zombie deck. It's it can be summoned off. It's the best monster to be summoned off of Last Will. Is that worth anything? That's the question of the evening. D. Armored with a capital D. Yeah, Komori. Komori already exists. It's worth a not an F. Well, D is basically F tier. As far as like, yeah, all the attribute boosters, same set. Loses the shield. They all lose a shield and sword though. All right, all right. I was trying to vouch for armored zombie. Stop attack is really bad. Can you imagine if stop attack was a continuous card or like a swords revealing a light kind of thing? Gross moth cousins. Direct attackers. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, like a level limit. It's super That's the thing with like a lot of these cards. It's like a lot of these are really convoluted. But that's what gives it kind of its charm though. That a lot of it's like it's still fun even if it's a lot of it's really kind of janky. It is kind of funny to see how like small S and A are. Final defense. First defense command. First defense commands. You're never putting giant soldier in attack anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's stuff for like summon skull, but again, better cards exist. All right, well, let's talk about the attribute boosters then. These blokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Miles is definitely like the best one. I yeah, I think that's fair. Miles, good B tier. The rest, theoretically, they do stuff, I suppose. I know like some people like want some blue and mess around with like I was gonna say Wee Witch's Apprentice. That's the retrain link. Witch's Apprentice. But yeah, they're I wouldn't say they're D tier in that regard. I think Forgiving Maiden's probably C tier. I could see an argument for B, but one of these. She has an interesting like effect to just like end the battle phase, right? Or does she end or just prevent like all damage? I don't remember. 19 concurrent viewers. Let's go. God, there's some shit in my eye. I think it's Konami trying to blind me. I think its effect is interesting, useful. Yeah, what's up, bad, wrong, fun? Um, you see it sometimes in like critter side decks. It's I think that's fair enough. It's as useful as Aquamador. It's Cocoon. Okay, C is fair. What the hell does this guy do? Was it Little Swordsman of Ailey? Isle? Ale? I don't remember what this card does. Don't people like meme around with like using it in decks? G monsters to boost attack. Okay. Haven't people tried this card out? I think the fact that like I've heard stuff about it like once in a while, I think that's fine. For one monster on your side of the field, should be increased attack 700. Okay, that's yeah. I guess that's it's better than others. It's better than D tiers. Immortal. Immortal's really interesting. I think it's you have to really double down on like jank to get it to work. Yeah, you can never set it. Okay. Yeah, I know I've seen him in size. It's just one of those cards that like I don't think I've ever seen people actually play it. Deep seated, I think is D. C. I guess as like a generic equip card, it's like whatever. In BS. BS. Have a mind fart. Mill preventer. I guess it's technically better than like Horn of the Unicorn, right? Because that card like auto stacks, and you don't always want it to stack. Doesn't this like give you the option to stack it? Like a generic equip is like whatever. It's just like normal Yu-Gi-Oh card. I think that's fair for a C. Oh, auto stack. Okay. Uh, I mean, as like generic stuff, you know, it has a use, I suppose. Yeah, that yeah, I kept Gigatech Wolf down here for a reason. In terms of critter format, Gigatech Wolf has some uses. Sucks knowing that. Yeah, like when I was streaming Eternal Duel Soul, like I had Horn of the Unicorn, and like there's a few times it's like, yeah, I got this like equip card, I feel good, but then once you get a part where it starts stacking and you can't do anything, it's like the worst feeling. I mean, it possibly has side deck use, so I guess that's better reason than any. What was the other Labyrinth Tank fusion? It's Labyrinth. It was Gigatech Wolf and Cannon Soldier. I am. I got yo Baboon. What's up? I got a heated debate with my GF. Oh, with your good friend, and she said Sword and Shield is clip art. Clip art. I'll put Gigatech Wolf in C for Labyrinth Tank Turbo. Clip art. Why would you? Why would your good friend say that? Labyrinth Tank. I made a whole video on Labyrinth Tank in Metal Raiders. Um, like you could summon it off of like stuff. In Dark Machine could come in use, but Critter Former also does have a deck that's like pretty fun with it. Your boy. Which one was your boy? Cocoon? Shield and Sword. What on earth is that emote? Hey, I got emotes of my own for any Janjo members. Bam. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I'll go some Metal Raiders, goodness. Shield Sword, I'm feeling C. Yeah, like it's fine. It is very specific for its use, though. That's like the problem, and it only lasts one turn. I mean, sure, it has a deck, but so does Gate Guardian, Great Moth. Yeah, it's kind of just bad battle tricks. Yeah, but just because you can doesn't mean you will. You know what I mean? Like it is way too specific, I think, to be in a B tier. Though I would love for more people to mess around with it, though. I mean, I think it is definitely a fascinating card. The problem is like you need to have like the right stat monsters, and your opponent needs to have the right stat monsters, and you got to make use of it the turn you activate it. And that's what makes it like really tricky. Like, it asks and requires for a lot. Yeah, it's as versatile as like anything else. And I think that's fair. It's as versatile as like Time Wizard. You know what I mean? Ring of Magnetism is kind of weird. I it's such a like it Ring almost makes sense. Trying to get B tier pilled. That's fair. Like Ring is like almost there. It is almost there. It's not good, but it's funny. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's like lockdown stuff is kind of neat. But like the fact that it decreases stats by 500 is like really stupid. Like it'd be so much better if it just didn't affect your stats, or at the very least like affected your like if it dropped your attack by 1,000 instead. Fine, whatever. The whole point is for defensive, right? Like that's kind of the problem with it is that it has a drawback that actively harms its like main use. Like theoretically, yeah, if you had something like Millennium Shield or like Neo Aquamador, like you could have it on that. Yeah, 2,500 is so hard to beat over, sure, but then like your opponent just activates any removal. Like yeah, you could do a lockdown thing. Like if we're talking Imperial format with Millennium Shield and like Gravity Bind. Isn't Gravity Bind enough of a stun card, right? To Amazon a swordsman to allow it to be equipped. Yeah, but again, you can have an argument for like any card on here, right? Like, yeah, you can use Soul Exchange with Lava Battle Guard. Judge question, Judge, Judge. Like, it feels like it's along the same length of like Paralyzing Potion. Like, in theory, something could be done with it. You know what I mean? What happens if on attack declaration I tailor the Fickle Ring onto a different monster? Let's see if you on attack declaration. Hmm. Interesting. Let's see what the chat says about this ring of destruction or ring of magnetism question. I believe it'll just. I think it just redirects the attack. Because it wouldn't cause a replay. I have to look into this real quick. Now I'm curious. Yeah, if they can't, because they're attacking monster, like they can't attack. In addition, all the monsters on your opponent's side of the field can only attack the monster equipped with this card if they attack. I think he gets redirected. Might have to ask the judges lounge for that. That ever comes up. But let's talk about what about Electric Lizard? I think that's another like interesting card. Part of me wants to say it's D tier on the same guidelines of like the direct attackers, right? Like it could technically, I suppose, do something, but it's like you're never gonna want to. Or we're talking about like Taylor the Fickle Ring of Magnetism. Yeah, it would, actually, I guess theoretically you equip it to your opponent's monster, but it wouldn't redirect your attack because you can't attack your own monsters, so that wouldn't do anything. I believe, unless it says equip to your own monster. Yes, you can only equip this to a monster on your side of the field. Okay, there you go. Yeah, this ain't Playground Yu-Gi-Oh. That'd probably be a fun video. Playground Yu-Gi-Oh. Big Eye for Exodia. I'll put him in C. Yeah, it was like Patrician of Darkness, MST, like errata card like Skull Layer, Kaiku. It's like, oh well, my card says this, so I get to do, I get to banish whatever I want. Trying to think of other like schoolyard stuff. Scrap Iron Scarecrow can infinite negate. Jeez. Changing the type of a monster. I feel like there was like a whole thing on like when a card's activated or something. I feel like I remember people talking about like, oh, you can activate Magic Jammer on like a continuous spell card that's already up. Shadow Ghoul, I think, is also a C tier because it like has more theoretical deck use than the other cards. Gotta put Shadow. He beat Yugi with it. Well, I think she only won because she had the power of love on her side. And that leaves us Harpy Lady Sisters, which they still can see play in modern Harpy decks, believe it or not. Sometimes, though, not everyone's Harpy deck, but I have seen both of them be used. Yeah, Ghoul definitely needs a retrain. Like, if we're getting more stuff like Skull Servants and stuff like that. Like we did get that like Wall Shadow retrain for Gate Guardian decks. I've seen people play like one vanilla Harpy Lady and even like a Harpy Lady Sisters. It just has like because you can still special summon it. I mean, I don't know why you'd run the normal one unless there's like some specific support for it over like Harpy Lady #1. Like, yeah, I don't see that often. I definitely see like Sisters more, but eh, eh. Maybe Unexpected Die, yeah. I don't. Let's look at what my Dueling Book Harpy deck is. I don't think I have OG Harpy Lady in that. This is from September. Yeah, I run normal Harpy Lady in my build. In fact, I run 3 of them. Let's see, but I need to read some of these cards. I feel like there is a reason for it. Yeah, Perfumer can search out Harpy Lady Sisters. So that's like a reason to do that. Yeah, more people need to be running the freaking Harpy Lady deck, I tell you. Yeah, I don't remember why I run normal Harpy Lady. I am running Imduk the World Chalice Dragon, which does require a normal monster to be link summoned. Which I think is a thing to like set up other cards. But yeah, I'm running 3 OG Harpy Ladies, though. That's just me. Was critter format is like the Metal Raiders era Yu-Gi-Oh. So like was it July 2002? So it goes up to all the sets up to Metal Raiders pre Tournament Pack 1. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Elegant Egotist is wild. Yep. In fact, I guess not last year, 2 years ago, I did a whole month. It was like Metal Raiders month or like Critter Format month, where I did a bunch of videos on like Metal Raiders. In fact, I should have a playlist for like. I might have a playlist for like Critter Format. Otherwise, a bunch of stuff in like 2000 and like, I think I have a 2002 playlist, a bunch of Metal Raiders stuff. But yeah, I have a bunch of stuff like on Critter Format and stuff, and Yugioh from Zero also has a bunch of critter format content on his channel too. So shouting him out in chat. Want to see stuff like that. Critter format, like it's honestly probably one of my, like it's definitely my top 5 favorite formats. I'm tempted to put these in B tier, honestly. I think their deck in critters like pretty solid, and they can still see play in like modern harpy decks. That's my logic, anyway. The Metal Raiders are great. Like I have a box of Metal Raiders, and I have like a deck. I have to show that off. Maybe I'll put a picture on my Patreon or something of like my sealed deck, which my friend and I we like split the pack, so it's not like the entire core set. Oh, Gate Guardian. Yeah, I know some people were complaining. It's like, oh, the decks are too like meta. It's like, hey man, it's either you go complete unplayable garbage or you try to make them worth it. I'm like, it'd be more fun to try and make them like worth it. Do we put these guys back down to D? Are we fooling ourselves? These guys, these two guys specifically. I have a complete Metal Raider set. It isn't like first ed or whatever because I don't care that much, but it's at least like like it's not 25th anniversary stuff. Like it is like early printing at least. Which speaking, I actually need to get back into that because I'm very close to finishing Dark Crisis, and then yeah, I just feel a little dirty with these guys here. Prevent Rat stays though. Um, which actually I can whip out real quick if you want to see that. Show you some cool shit. Hold on, 1 sec. All right, check this out. First off, I wanna showcase this. Get a load of that. I don't fuck around. I have LOB, Metal Raiders, Magic Ruler, and Pharaoh Servant. And then yeah, this is kind of stuff like Cheshire that Nick would be looking. He's like a fucking nerd. This is my Metal Raiders set. I don't know what the best way to do this. Story time with Janjo, baby. I don't know how to do this optimally. What is the easiest way to do this? Can I get this like really low? See my pants. Okay. So yeah, so it has some first ed stuff in it, but it's not all like first ed. Actually, let me do this real quick. There we go. Okay. Prevent rat be preventing. He sure does. All right, here we go. Better. Let's look through Metal Raiders. Dex protection binder. Really like these. Dig these. All right. Yeah. So like there'll be some first ed and some not. Like 8 Guardian Secret's like really pretty. Yeah. And then we got page 2 here. So I actually have both Harpy ladies. This is the first ed one. Or oh, it's first ed. This is just it's not first ed, but it's like early printing where like you can see her tits in it. Yep, this is in by set number. And this is like the one where it's like covered her tits are covered up. I don't know why they did that. Then we got the second page. Got some Black Skull Dragon. Look at that beautiful card. And these are all also like in you can't really tell, but they all also have like colored themed sleeves on them. You can't necessarily like tell them. Oh, your boy is Cocoon of Evolution. So also you can see my Yoshi's Island mouse pad there. Yeah, unfortunately these guys aren't on the same page with Suijin. Yeah, there's Suijin, other page. Got all the direct attackers and shit. Got Faith. I actually had a Faith I've had for like the longest time, but it's in like really horrible condition. So I don't mind if they're in like a little U shape because I kind of like little used cards, right? I like to see that people played with the cards and had fun with them, right? But if they're like really bad, like bends and like really noticeably played, then I'll get one that's I typically get, unless it's not that much more for a like a near mint. I don't mind, and I usually go for like lightly played because it's slightly cheaper, and I kind of dig that. Got Marin. I actually have Marinfin sleeves, the OCG sleeves for Marinfin. I have, I think it's a set of 15. I do have a set of those. I haven't used it for anything yet, but I do have those. Yeah, Tribute to the Doomed. Soul Release, which is seeing a lot of play now for like, I don't know which specific deck. Might be Fire Kings or no, I think it's Sinful Spoils. I think, which I do have the. I think it's the Soul Fusion copy that has like it's super rare. It's very pretty and super rare, I gotta say. Speaking of really pretty, like Change of Heart and Time Wizard, really. I remember I first got this card when I was a kid. Like my neighbor at the end of the street, we traded for one time, like right after a sleepover. Like I went home with a Metal Raiders Time Wizard. That was really fun. We got of course Sangish. Like this is a good example. Like this card really, like this and like Pot of Greed really should have been higher rarities, but they weren't, and that's kind of a good thing. I'm glad Great Moth wasn't. Even that card probably should have been like a super rare. Karibo too. Rabbit Horseman card released way too late. Should have been in like structure deck or starter deck Kaiba. There's a Pumpkin. Everyone likes Pumpkin. Like it feels like a lot of cards in this would have been cool on like a higher rarity. Like Tremendous Fire as a super, like an ultra rare. Yeah, Time Wizard. Yeah, card looks dope as fuck. My hand's getting kind of a little tired. Okay, so look, so like Orbs, Guiltia. I like the yellow background in Guiltia. It pops so much. It's really cool. There's Launcher Spider for you Cheshire if you're still watching. Like I remember pulling a lot of these back then. I always really noticed like the laser background looking really cool. Like 22, 25 is a pretty solid stat line. Yeah, get like a close look of this Launcher Spider. I've always liked Rikishin Powered, which is just like strong gargoyle. Oh no, is my webcam frozen? Might need to refresh it. Okay, cool. Yeah, Launch Fire is really cool. There is a retrain. There is a new version of this card, by the way. I think it's called like BM. Was it BM Blast Spider or something like that? But yeah, you gotta retrain in the last like I don't know 5 years or so. It's just weird cards got weird. Also, I have two Yadokarus because they actually changed like the way its effect works. So in I can't read it right now, but one of them is goes from attack to defense. The other one goes from defense to attack. So I got two of those. Like this isn't like a first ed like near mint thing because like people have done that before. This is just the way I want to do my own collection, right? I just want to collect cards in decent enough condition to kind of showcase some of the interesting aspects of the set to celebrate fear in which I don't remember me shitting on it. Okay, so in my worst MRD videos, I did not put Launcher Spider. I've discussed it. Like I could in theory, but that was more in regards to like high level normal monsters. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll make a post on Launcher Spider tomorrow. I'm sorry. Orb. Ugh. I wish. Orbs on female chest. Let me tell you, dating apps suck. Let me just say that. They are the worst. Um I got two Cybersaurs. Here's like the original printing with like the metal arm. And then here's one that they made it like a toy. It's like red and green. But for some reason, I don't know when this was like released because this was before the 25th anniversary set. But it's still like the set code's still MRD. So I don't know when this was released. I'm dating a chubby girl, so that's very good. Hey man, you do what you need to do. So yes, I'm not sure like when this was because I from what I've looked into, I don't think this was printed in like the previous reprint sets. That was because I think it was like this one for the longest time. So I'm not 100% sure where this was printed. But yeah, Muka Muka. Flame Cerberus. This looks like a card that would have been printed in like the McDonald's pack. Know your worst cards in Metal Raiders. You have Yadukaru in the thumb. Yeah, Yadukaru is horrendously bad. It's even fun because like when the set came out, I knew it was bad because I looked at this card. I'm like, look at that or like Tainted Wisdom or whatever, and it's like, why would I just shuffle my deck? The attributes have always interested me. It would be fun if people tested with them a little bit more. Like they can be a little troublesome for sure, but they are a little niche. Dark Elf, I pulled this one back then. Love this card. White top 10 waifus. You got the Forbidden Memories dragon right here. Hell yeah. You got Witch. More like a bitch. Bitch of the Black Forest. Haha, I'm clever. This one is a shiny page right here. Jamming, Flame Service, and Joey the Passion. Oh boy. So the attribute boost field spells are not out yet. They come out in the next set, Magic Ruler. Yeah, so super rare, ultra, ultra, ultra. Like this is a shiny page right here. A living dex. Oh yeah. I'm almost finished Dark Crisis, but I want to at least do through LB through Ancient Sanctuary. Like pre ultimate rares because I don't want to bother with ultimate rares. Toe, what's up? After I go through this, we will be going back and just like showing off the stuff some more. Yeah. Otija, what's up? Oh yeah, Garnius Elephantis. I'm sure it's a translation of something. Don't know off the top of my head. I actually remember I got a Solemn Judgment at some point in like I don't know when it was 2004 or 5, and this Rena's card be like half my life points. Fuck this card. I'm never playing this. It's trash. I did have another Magic Jammer, but it had like for a long time, but it did have a big crease on it. Oh yeah, MRL next week if nothing changes. Yeah, more like ultra like all these things were ultra rares. Crazy. I don't know. It feels like Shield and Sword would have been a higher rarity. I don't know why. All right, see you later, Ender Pin. Thank you. Thank you for showing up in the stream. Everything will still be here, so if you ever want to watch it in the future, it'll be around. Enjoy taxes. Yeah, just a lot more like then it kind of ends up a little poor stuff like block attack and germ infection. And the last page here got that beautiful mirror force. I actually had this back like in I believe 2002 actually. I traded a friend who he had Yu-Gi-Oh cards but he didn't really play it. So I traded him some Pokemon cards for it. So that was cool. And heavy and the secret rare Thousand Dragon. Very pretty rare. Gotta dig that stuff. But yeah, that's my Metal Raider set. Bam. And for those who didn't see it, just gonna show off one more time. Actually, I'm gonna show off in the big cam because I didn't show off in the big cam. I think I need a flip. Bam. Do I play the Pokemon TCG? I do not, but I have been considering getting into it. Um, just as like another card game to play. But if I got into it, I would want to like start at the the first set, like Fossil. I know some stuff about it. Um, which by the way, check out Ruby Retro. He does some like really great like history videos on Pokemon. But that's like where I would want to start with that. Like start with yeah, base and like go through like Fossil, maybe even like some later stuff, like Wizards of the Coast era, like Neo Genesis and like stuff like that. Um, but that's also like a whole money pit. Uh, but I think it'd be fun though to like try it out because I had the cards growing up, but I never knew how to play the game. I never had like a deck. It was just like collecting. Because I grew up during Pokemania, right? Like before Yu-Gi-Oh came out, that was my shit was Pokemon. Uh, so I've always been like curious about it in that aspect. So like that's something I would like totally be like down for like trying out. Like I do. And by the way, if anyone wants to buy cards, use my TCG player affiliate link, which should be in the description of like all my videos. If you use that link, I'll get some kickback. So maybe I can use that to get some Pokemon cards. I don't get much from it, but always looking out for that. I know there's like a Japanese sequel to Pokemon on Game Boy, like the card game. That was like a Japanese only thing. There might be a translation for that. I'd never played Pokemon TCG, but the recent miniseries Road to the Summit really got my attention. Like I've seen people do like videos about that. I've seen like articles online and stuff, and it all seems like really interesting. Because like it's obviously like a super popular game. Okay, unofficial translation patch. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like even just like the art is like it's so pretty. Like I have a channel on my Discord just for like other card games, and most times I'll just post like random Pokemon thing on there. I see, I'm like, that's kind of neat. Oh, I got this like vacuum flask. I have ice, so like the water like it's still cold. Mm. H2 cola, gotta love it. But like I think it'd be cool. Like I don't know if that's something I would like make videos on. Um, like I have made one Pokemon video on this channel, and it was like an April Fool's Day thing, where it was like ranking like the top 10 like base fossil Pokemon. Nick's messaging me on Slack. Um, but yeah, like It's always fascinated me, like these like older stuff that I play that I never got. I don't know. Should I make like a separate random ass Pokemon channel? Upload like once, like 3 times a year? Because like I'm not the kind of guy that would want to play it like online or like use proxies. Like I'm the kind of guy that like if I want to play a card game, like I want like the cards, like the actual shit to play. Like when it wouldn't have to be like first printing, Like it can be like the anniversary stuff. The hard part was just finding people, honestly. Like in my friend group, I have like one person that would be down for it, but it's also like I have to be the one that like starts. I have to like push it. You know what I mean? So I also do Pokemon progression stuff. You have to check out the Digimon card game. So actually, I did have the original Digimon cards. Um, but that was another thing I never played the game for. Because I had a friend who was getting rid of all his cards, and so me and this my other friend, like we just got a bunch of random ass Digimon cards. Uh, what time? 5 a.m. There it is. Inching towards 9 p.m. over here. But yeah, like I had a bunch of card games I just never knew how to play. Like I had that. I think I might have had like a couple like Naruto cards and uh Dragon Ball Z. I think I had like a starter deck for Neopets at one point. I ended up selling. It is 8:48 p.m. currently where I'm at. There's actually a Kingdom Hearts card game that has always intrigued me. I know there's like a One Piece card game. I think there's a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure card game. But yeah, all these card games. Yeah, a lot of stuff I had, I just never like play it. Night guy. All right, fair enough. I like the night. I prefer the night over the day, but there are benefits to the day, especially when I work during the day. Yeah, I can't find any stuff about like the cage card game, like decks and stuff on eBay. Oh, there's a '90s Mortal Kombat card game. I remember my brother had some of those cards. There is a channel I used to watch. I don't know if they still upload videos, but he did a couple stuff of like about dead card games. Like him and his friend would like play, like get decks and play card games and see like why they failed, like at least from a like a gameplay perspective, or like what their positives and negatives were. But like, I don't think that's something I could just get all these like different card games. I think it'd be interesting. Especially when like Pokemon is like the other one I'm like very tempted to like try out. But all this stuff costs money, and I don't make too terribly much money. Bit random, but I plan on my second major fanfic to feature many also Yu-Gi-Oh monsters in the plot. Both. Oh, that's cool. Actually, before this Janjo Zone, I did have a other Yu-Gi-Oh channel. It has like I don't know 6 videos on it. It's been a long 2 months. Oh my god, you're telling me. I'm very excited when we're getting paid. Did I wish we were getting paid more? Sure, but at this point I'll take a paycheck. Like I got money, right? Like I saved up plenty. It's not a ton, but um very long 2 months. I'm very excited for February 1st. Needless to say. Yu-Gi-Oh's like 4-dimensional chess. Oh, demo decks. See, I at least want to like finish my some sets for like Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I think it'd be fun to have like pre-made decks. Like I had one for Goat at one point. But having like pre-made like 2-player decks for like certain formats, like like a detox kind of deck. Like a Yugi Kaiba detox, a crit. I actually recently made a critter detox deck. Um, which I believe is on my Discord. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's fun in the sense that you can play like if you're not playing competitively, you can pretty much play whatever you want. And I think that's pretty fun because then you have access to like everything. So for like a casual sense, I enjoy modern. Maneater Bug Tribe. Nice. No other card game would have a card like Soul Release. Yeah, wasn't there a card? Esteban, what's up? Have you ever played? I have not played any Digimon card games or video games or anything. I remember seeing like the cartoon and really digging that, and I had the some of the cards. I just never knew how to play it. Doesn't Magic the Gathering have a card where it's you can like this card can exist like outside of the game and you can play it? I think I had a friend that had a card like that. Tag duel is a cool concept. I think they do that like, at side events sometimes, don't they? Or like some like actually, I think I'm thinking of team events. They do team stuff. So many unsupported YGO formats. Yeah, I mean they're slowly branching out. Like reading that Edison Goat uh Tengu plant thing. I was hoping when they announced Time Wizard stuff they'd be like more into it, right? Like having I don't know. I mean, maybe something like Yugi Kyber Crittered be too far gone, but even something like Yada, where they actually have had a world championship on, or like Perfect Circle or Dino Rabbit. Like I thought originally what they're going to do was that they're going to have like one do like a year or however long circuit of it, and then go to a different format and do like a circuit of that. Instead, it's just kind of like randomly it might have like a thing here and there, or they'll just let um like local OTS do it. They're clearly just like they're like, oh yeah, we'll allow because people are playing it, but we'll do it if we feel like it. Some events. And I don't even think. I mean, Edison format's really good for sure. Um, it's something like the hip uh Time Wizard format. But I said I think eventually it's gonna have the same issues as people are having with Goat or like other formats that they might not enjoy. Like eventually things are gonna, and I don't want to say too much because I actually recently finished a video on this that will be up next month, kind of discussing like Goat formats, ban lists, and people's like issues with it. Bring back sealed draft. Yeah, they used to do that at events, right? Like both officially and unofficial. I'm not like super terribly into like sealed stuff because I'm like probably the aspect I enjoy the most is deck building. Like I have like a ton of decks just built on like Dueling Book and like otherwise, and I enjoy like the deck crafting skills. So for me, is like I like to take cards like a whole format and do it, but that's just me. I know a lot of people enjoy like sealed draft or or cube or progression style stuff or what have you. Um, that's fair. Like you can't like I enjoy like the deck I built with that too. But I'm just saying like in regards to me being able to like make like an optimal build with like all the tools I'm with like everything all encompassing, not just like a more like limited, like randomly selected stuff. You know what I mean? Harry, you what's up? Mr. Janjo, do you have any single certain old packs? I do not have any packs. No, I do not. I've thought in the past of like maybe keeping like some old packs like on me just to have, or like old sets. But I'm like, it's a card game. Just play with the cards. I don't know. But no, I do not have any old stuff. Single to sell? Not much, honestly. I have like a trade binder, but there's not like too much stuff in it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Sneak peeks were good till it ended. It was definitely interesting. I think that'd be an interesting like topic for a video, like sneak peek cards. It's just never been something I've like brought up in any like videos or anything. Special editions. Oh yeah, special editions are kind of cool. Especially for like the European market where they could just re-release these things like Lost Millennium. You know, they had the Chaos Emperor Dragon in that. I would be shocked if I had any card you were looking for, Harry. But I suppose if you want, I really don't have much. Duality and Warning. Oh, that was a Star Strike Blast, right? Or like the set before Star Strike Blast, I think. What was the set before? It wasn't Duelist Revolution, or was it? Might have been Star Strike Blast. I know I talked about it not too terribly long ago. My history video of Star Strike format. The cards from MRD. Um, I'm. I don't think I have any like notable cards from that. Yeah, I can look. Um, maybe you just get off like TCG Player with my affiliate link in the description. If Rush Duels gets a English release, would you play? I might buy like the starter thing and try it out, like I did with Speed Duels. Because Speed Duels, I try it out. Like I feel like it will eventually. Like it's in Duel Links now, right? Or like Master, like one of those two. I feel like it's only a matter of time before we get Rush Duels, but it's hard to say with like Speed Duels around too. No, Ring of Destruction was in Pharaonic Guardian. Magician's Force was a set after Pharaonic Guardian. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we got Duel Links. I feel like it's only a matter of time. I don't know when that is, but it's only a matter of time, I think. And I think I would at least try it out of curiosity. Because I do really enjoy speed duels, so if it has anything kind of like that, and just having like completely different cards and looks in general, I think that's interesting. Look at this list though; it's kind of whack. So many bad cards, so many like kind of average cards. Not a ton of like great cards, but they definitely hold their weight though. I think comparatively, Rushals are kind of rush and not Essence of Yu-Gi-Oh. I think. Yeah, see, I don't really know like much about Rushals aside from like seeing like art and stuff. Because Speed Duels already gives you like that sense of like nostalgia Yu-Gi-Oh with like newer stuff, which is why I like Speed Duels a lot. Feels like that feels like the layout of most old DM era. Oh, this, yeah. Oh, you mean like it's on the list, the the tier? Trying to juggling a bunch of stuff. I cannot give a good take on Rush and Speed due to lack of Speed dueling and nostalgia for DM. That's fair. But, like there's still like even Speedos like has dipped their toes like like they've done like a bunch of GX stuff. So like really they are in their GX era for all intents and purposes, especially with midterm destruction coming out. Um, and there's a lot of like really good like there's combo stuff in there, right? Like it has like a good feeling to it. I Harry, I see your message. I will get to that when I get the chance. By the way, I got city pop music on in the background. It's great. Plastic Love, great song. Rushable Switch game, interesting. I mean, it depends how they like release it, because like, isn't it that whole Rush Duel anime? Like, I think it, like, I assume that's not dubbed, and I assume when it is, that's when we'll get speed duels, because that makes the most sense. Tie it in with the anime. Like, that's what they do with all the animes. Think it is. See, I have no idea. This is how little I know about that. Sevens is dubbed. Go Rush isn't dubbed. Okay, well maybe when Go Rush is dubbed. I mean, to be fair, Tupac. To be fair, Tupac. Um, it is a children's card game, like Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, yeah, if we're playing competitively, that's like a different thing because no kids are gonna spend $100 on Bonfire. All right, yeah, catch you later, B Sox. Thank you for stopping by. I feel like it was a pretty good list. Excited for next week's and Magic Ruler, most likely, barring technical or personal issues. Show's not good. Art style doesn't look like Yu-Gi-Oh. All right, see you later, Toa, Voluta. Can't say I shot my locals for years. I think it depends. Like I've been to locals where they're like kids around, and I've seen stuff on like YouTube. People have like that do duels, and like saw one not too terrible long ago. A guy was dueling a kid that was using blue eyes. I think it just depends on like where you're at. Oh yeah, get that dinner. Like it's not as much as like Pokemon is. Like the thing with Yu-Gi-Oh, just in general, it's not as popular in the United States as it is in Japan. Like over here, like I would say like Pokemon, Magic Gathering, and even like other stuff like One Piece and Lorcana kind of take precedent currently. But at least with the Yu-Gi-Oh, the competitive scene in America is like where it's at, and that in regards, yeah, I can see it's like an older audience for people that can buy and afford like the newer, like bigger cards and go to like YCSs and whatnot. Like I've lost to a, I mean it was years ago, but I don't know, around like 2018 or so. I lost to a kid using Cyber Dragons. I mean, it's in general. I mean, yeah. I mean, just Pokemon is an example. I mean, they're like the big market. You know, just buying sets and stuff to get that Charizard. Uh, I mean, you know, each their own. Some like where I used to live, you know, there's like one locals, right? Like that was the only thing nearby, like any like remote area. This music is way too loud. What the hell? Oof. Luckily, the place like I go at has like a huge speedrun community, and like there are people of all ages there. Like those are the locals I usually go to. It's the biggest speedrun locals on the East Coast. Cartoons cartoons don't always have to be childish. Season zero. I mean, sure, but that was also like because remember, like, Yu-Gi-Oh is also based off of manga, right? So that was kind of like more off of the manga than trying to push product per se. Like, yeah, they had like the Bandai game, but that was just more of like a gotcha thing, you know. Like it wasn't until like the Toei anime, you know, like the 1999 Yu-Gi-Oh, where they started in Duel's Kingdom because that's where the product is. They had the cards there to sell it, and that didn't fly with like North America, and that's why they had to edit the cards to make them look a little bit different. But that's just like censorship stuff. But like the season zero was made more for the manga, whereas the season one you could say was made for the product, and that's like the difference between the two. What set of Yu-Gi cards did you stop buying? Uh, you might have to elaborate on that. What set did I stop buying? I mean, I also buy stuff. Got an invite for your championship 7 years in a row. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's real unfortunate. I think I made a brief comment about that in my European history video of like people that are unable to like travel for events, which is always unfortunate. I tell you what I should have went to last year was the I think it was last year was the Goat Grand Prix in I believe it was Orlando. We had like all like the big people were there. Like, damn, that would have been fun. I could have gone one in Philadelphia, the YCS in Philadelphia, but I'm just never up to date with this stuff enough. So like when it happened, I'm like, oh shit, too late. Ooh, Inzector OTK. It's currently where I'm at in my history series, roughly. Have currently in 2012. City Pop's so good. All right, Alex. See you later. Have a wonderful night yourself. Just chilling out here. I mean, these lists they really don't take that long to make. Surprisingly, I thought these lists would take like way longer to figure out, but it really is like cream rises to the top. Um, but that just lets me get a kind of chill out for majority of the stream otherwise, which I don't mind. Kills time, especially since I only do this once a week. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure by the time we get to like, especially like if we do GX stuff, I would definitely have trouble with that because again, like stuff like this, I pretty much know like the whole card pool. It might be like that for a bit. There might be a couple. I think as we go, we're gonna find more cards that I'm less familiar with. and those would might take more time for sure. Yeah, a lot of it's like vanilla. A lot of them like bad, 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 bad. Yeah, as cars get away from just plain bad like vanilla stuff or like clearly bad things, it's gonna be a little tougher. Like I imagine something like even like Pharaoh Servant's gonna look a bit different. I could definitely see an argument for Cannon Soldier in S, but I just think compared to like the other cards, like there's like a clear like these cards were played, right? Aside from our Gods Among Men Armored Rat. Actually, I might be traveling overseas next year or this year. Might be going to South Korea, maybe England. We'll see. Oh, if I'm in South Korea, I should try. Though I don't know when that might be in the fall. But if they have those like Dark Magician and Blue Eyes decks, yeah, it's hard to compete with the other cards. My main issue with the USA is our shitty healthcare. Yeah, I don't think we have any red light districts here, but I will say, for the record, I do think prostitution should be legalized so that the government can actually like manage it. Because otherwise, it's just like the Wild West, right? I think if we have like actual laws and regulations for it, I think that's just better for everyone involved. And it's the same thing with a lot of other things too. Um, I'm proponent for like marijuana and stuff like that, which is like should be legal everywhere. Why not? Like if alcohol is legal, right? It's just like it's a lot of things that just don't make sense. Just like even if like you're like don't partake in it, I think. I'm just a man of logic, I suppose. Is it that time of night where I'm talking about prostitution on a Yu-Gi-Oh channel? What? It's legal in Vegas. Someone's really hop on a plane. Well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So there is no like F tier. Like D tier is basically F is essentially F tier, just like the worst of the worst. S tier is like great, great like design cards. A tier is like these are really good designed. B is like they definitely have like their place. C they have uses. And D is just trash. And if you ever want to go back and like watch through like this stream from like starting this, um, all my streams will be available video on demand on my channel. Tainted Wisdom. It's just a big meatball. Gate Guardian. The thing with Gate Guardian, like yeah, even though you can summon it now with the new support, you really don't need to. And it's honestly suboptimal if you do. I think it's fun that you can, but like anyone like who's like playing the deck in any like competitive sense probably won't be running him. When you have like a bunch of fusions already, like the deck already like runs itself without it. Like yeah, the Gate Guardians combined can summon it. I don't think it's very good. Even like in Great Moth too is like we have Ultra Cocoon and like Perfectly Ultimate and like other better insect cards. Um, Beaster Butcher, he has high attack. Theoretically, can be milled for like Exodia stuff. But even just like his stats alone and the fact that he can do like mill Exodia stuff, um, he has way more like potential use, and like you can't see him in some roguish decks, some very janky rogue decks. Aliens come here, we should have a duel so it don't invade us. Well, what if they're nice aliens? What if the aliens are pretty cool? Not horrible flying spaghetti monsters that look like Tainted Wisdom or Ocubeam. Gazelle. But we have like the mythical gazelle like illusion stuff now. Like he already got retrained. Ah, an alien. Challenge me to a children's card game. The question is, what deck would you play against an alien for the fate of Earth? That's the question. Would you play Yadalok? Would you play Dragon Rulers? Pepe, perhaps? The new Soul Exchange. Uh, what's the new Soul Exchange? Spell card Soul Exchange. Oh, it's like Soul. It's like spell card Monster Reborn. It's really hard to like Google search it when it's just like spell card. Oh, I have seen that Blue Eyes art. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, at some point, I'm sure it'll get released in your Doom King deck. Ooh, Doom King Balladrock. I do enjoy Balladrock like zombie decks. Big fan of zombies for sure. I think the one I had before was like more of like a XD like toolbox build. That was years ago. Okay, effect isn't revealed yet. I imagine it'll be kind of like maybe like a quick play soul exchange that doesn't prevent from like battle phase. I think that like a I'm essentially explaining I'm explaining Monarch Stormforth. So I don't know. Maybe something like Soul Exchange, but for like high level monsters, since Blue Eyes is on it. Perhaps, maybe, maybe branded. Okay, maybe maybe a deck with Bonfire. Yeah, I imagine it's gonna be something like Spell Card Monster Reborn. If I had to play a deck against an alien invasion, oh goodness, I'd. Whew, what would I play? I don't know why I keep thinking Prank Kids. I don't know why that comes to mind. Prank Kids. A water version of Bonfire. We have for fish monsters, we have Fish Sonar. Which that card, I'm honestly shocked that card hasn't jumped up in price like since release. Because what's fish? Is Fish Sonar just fish? Okay, that mentions Umi or is a water normal monster. I mean, it's something. I mean, yeah, it is kind of amazing that we don't have like a general rota for like all the attributes yet. You get a Yugi skill that makes you top deck anything. There is a skill for that. Yeah, was it like the final draw or something like that? There's also that one spell card. Um, what was it called? The true name. Decks that like the raw decks that use that to summon out like raw. Oil, yeah, oil isn't out yet. Oil is down the pipeline. Destiny draw. Yeah, it is like the year of fire decks. I don't know why they just decided to give fire like a ton of support, but they're doing it. I'm all down for it. Anytime we get like lesser played attribute stuff, like a few years ago it was all about some Morgan Wind and Bird Up and then and Flu. Now we're going the other direction. I mean you can play water decks too. Like we have like Kairushin, which I know it's not like tier one or anything, but I feel like it's a strong rogue deck. Year of the Dragon? Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe. I feel like for them it's always Year of the Dragon because it's always like Blue Eyes. Can we just get like a bingo machine reprint? I always enjoy like season zero Yama Yugi, like from like early in the manga when he has like that more sinister look to him. I've always liked that. Where it's just like he has a little tiny mouth and he's like, ha ha ha. I like to rewatch season zero. It's been like a decade at least since I rewatched it. I think it'd be fun to collect the Bandai cards too. To play a deck, have two playable Bandai decks. Oh yeah, that was an anime exclusive character. Yeah. I do have a video planned next month that briefly discusses like the end of Bandai. It's part of my Yu-Gi-Oh! CG series. That'll be in episode 3, in which episode 2 is currently up on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Oh, goodness. I slept so weird last night. I woke up at like twice. I think the problem is when I take edibles, I get like really thirsty. Why did they make Tristan a stamp in every series? It's an anime. You gotta have one. You gotta have one. At least one. At least one. Oh, goodness. The back of my neck today has just been like really sore, or like upper back. I tell you, I work out. I eat healthy, relatively healthy. Yeah, I feel like I have the genetics of like a 50-year-old man. Yeah, maybe I'll do like a actually like a watch along thing. It's too bad I can't like watch stuff on here because that'd be really fun, like shows and stuff. But then YouTube, just like ban hammer. Maybe like on my Discord, I can do like watch along stuff. Hey, isn't the part of being a friend is being like a low key asshole? Isn't that like the base of all friendships? Does Duke ever have a girlfriend? I don't think so. I think Duke's a cuck. You can just put a timestamp in the corner. Yeah, I suppose. Although everyone will have to like watch it, like have to sync it up themselves at like the same time. Although that would be easy to edit though, because then if when I edit, I can just like slap on the video if everyone to like do something like that. But I feel like I do like more like post production stuff. Or I could do what that one guy did on Twitch and just hold like a controller. He was streaming a UFC event, but he was acting like he was playing a video game. Like he was pretending that he was playing it as a video game. I think that is like one of the funniest things. Mini season 0 English dub DVD release. Oh, that'd be amazing. I know the movie is available on Laserdisc, like in Japan, but it'll never come out because of rights issues. That's just the sad truth of it. What we do need though is like the full version of Yu-Gi-Oh. It was like Yu-Gi-Oh Uncensored or Unrated or whatever it was that they had like a few DVDs of. Joey's a pretty good character. I dig him. I wish they had a new anime that followed the manga like one to one, as much as it could. Because the anime that we have of Duel Monsters does not do it justice at all. Like there's so many changes from it. Not even counting, not including the first like the whole Domino City arc. But even just like small changes here and there and like I want some like really great animated true to manga Yu-Gi-Oh anime. That's what I want. That's all I ask for. Give us the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood of Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, a Joey Sai series I think would be real fun. Although I figured they'd probably do Kaiba first. Unless it is something where like Joey's like trying to beat Kaiba and that's like the whole story. I would also love if they like had a modern like Dungeon Dice game. I feel like Dungeon Dice should have been a PS2 game and not just on GBA. Because I like to play like test more with Dungeon Dice monsters, but the stuff is so expensive. I have like the base starter set, but you really need at least two of them to play like a fair two-player game. I mean, there's like capsule monsters and other like RPG stuff, but like it's not Dungeon Dice. Like I know there are people that mess around with like Dungeon Dice stuff on like YouTube and like I'm on like a Discord, but I think a lot of it's like they print stuff themselves and do that. But you look up Dungeon Dice stuff on eBay and everything's like either it's like in Japanese or the stuff is already just expensive anyway for like the card and like the figure. Like it feels like the most realistic way to play that is with proxies. But I remember playing it a lot though. I had a friend back in 2003 2004. Like we played Dungeon Dice a lot. Duels of the Rose is pretty close to Dungeon Dice. Maybe one of these days I'll play um, DOTR and stream or something. I had Falsebound Kingdom. I got it as like a birthday present. I never played it because like kid me wasn't like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, awesome. It was this ain't Yu-Gi-Oh, right? It's not like a card game, so I just never played it. Though perhaps when I finish like the DM era tier lists, maybe I'll start one of the video games, which will probably be Dark Duel Stories. I'm thinking, or maybe I'll do it sometime in between. I don't know if it strikes me, but we definitely have a ways to go with this. I'll at least do the DM eras. I'm still on the fence of like GX stuff, just because I'm not as like familiar with like each set's card pool. as I am with like DM era stuff, but it's a topic for a different day, I suppose. Oh goodness, these trailers are fun though. It's nice, like chill stream. I like my chill streams. Gonna talk Yu-Gi-Oh with everyone. Just nerd out a bit. The Janjo Thursday streams. Is it possible to unlock everybody body parts on construction dark duel? I don't know. Actually, maybe. I think it depends if some stuff are like locked behind like a special wall or something. But maybe that I don't know too terribly much. Like I played it back, back when it came out, but I had no idea what I was doing because it is very different. Like, I'm sure like there's a bunch of resources online for getting cards or doing things and whatnot, which I'm sure I'll be having on like a separate screen referencing. Speaking of which, I can't wait till I get a new second screen so both of mine match resolutions. I've been doing this for like the longest time, and it's really about time I change it. I've just been saving up Patreon money, which has been taking a while. Because I want that money to go back into like the channel. Which, by the way, if you're not supporting me on Patreon, I would highly recommend. It's a good way to support a small time creator for as little as $2 a month. But that's just stuff I have to push out. YouTube talk, you know what I mean. All right, well, I think I'm going to call it a stream there. I think I had a good time tonight. But we went over. Hell yeah. And you got 24 hours to watch the next video before it becomes private for the official release. But then there'll be 2 additional videos I have planned. There'll be a side video on the 28th, and then after that, it's next Yugu history. So it's a good time to be a member, I gotta say. But yeah, so I got those 2 things coming up. Very excited for that. Next video should be uploaded on Monday or Sunday, which is the OCG video. We should be back next week for the Magic Ruler video tier. So look forward from that, and look forward to seeing all of you guys again, all my Janjanites. So until I see you all next time, have a wonderful day.